Hey listeners, welcome to English Made Simple. Today we are unlocking the secret physical codes behind how we actually speak. Right now, as you process the words coming through your headphones, your brain is doing math so incredibly complex that early supercomputers used to just completely fry their circuits trying to mimic it.
Oh, totally. It's wild to think about.
Right, you are seamlessly decoding a language that is notoriously, stubbornly, unapologetically non-phonetic.
Yeah, it is a beautiful mess. I mean, we spend so much of our lives obsessing over the static printed letters on a screen or a page that we just kind of completely forget what speech actually
You
is.
really do.
Speaking is a fundamentally physical act. It is biomechanics. It's moving air, flexing muscles, and vibrating tissue.
Yeah, I always think of English spelling like a broken GPS.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
Like you type in your destination and it gives you these visual directions, the letters, and you follow them exactly as they appear, turn by turn, but somehow you end up at completely, entirely different auditory destinations.
You're miles away from where you thought you'd be.
Exactly. The visual cues just do not match the physical reality of the sound.
Well, that's because that map was drawn for a completely different landscape centuries ago. The spelling of English basically froze in time, while the way people actually move their mouths uh, just kept evolving.
Which brings us to our mission for this deep dive. If you want to stop guessing and actually master pronunciation, you have to throw that broken GPS out the window.
Just toss it.
Toss it. Stop relying on how words are spelled. Today, we are focusing entirely on the physical mechanics of sound. We're going to decode the biomechanics of how vowels actively change the shape of your mouth, and then we're going to dive deep into the specific bodily differences between voiced and unvoiced consonants.
Because when you really understand the physical architecture of your mouth and throat, you stop memorizing exceptions and, well, you start relying on muscle memory.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because to understand why we need a new approach, we really have to look at just how deceptive that old map is. Take a seemingly innocent letter like C.
Oh, innocent until you try to pronounce it.
Right. It sits right there at the start of the alphabet. And in a word like cup, it gives you a hard percussive sound right at the back of the throat. Cup. But then you look at a word like place, and suddenly that exact same letter is making a soft hissing sound at the front of the teeth.
The visual direction didn't change a millimeter, but your mouth had to do something completely different.
And then it morphs again with an H in chocolate to make a chi sound.
Yeah, the chi sound.
But wait, just when you lock in that chi rule, you run into the word ache. A-C-H-E. There's that C and H together, but now it reverts right back to the hard K sound we started with. Like, why is the language actively trying to trick us?
Well, what's fascinating here is it's not malice, it's history.
Okay, history.
Yeah, English is a hoarder. It borrowed words from Old Norse, French, Latin, Greek, and it kept their original spellings, even when they completely clashed. That hard C in ache, that's just the ghost of a Greek root word lingering on the page.
So we're basically reading a museum exhibit.
Pretty much.
Which explains the ultimate trickster spelling the off trap.
Oh, the bane of every English learner's existence.
Seriously. The thought and cough. Three words that share the exact identical block of letters, O-U-G-H, but say them out loud.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Though gives you a long, open sound. Thought gives you a broader ah sound, and the E just entirely vanishes. And then Poff suddenly turns that E into an F sound.
This is wild.
Yeah.
But the underlying mathematics of this historical chaos is actually pretty interesting. When William Caxton brought the printing press to England in the 1400s,
Right, the 1400s.
he brought Flemish typesetters who barely even spoke English.
Oh, that's a recipe for disaster.
Totally. So they just guessed at spellings, freezing them in print. Meanwhile, the spoken language was going through this massive physical shift. People were literally changing how high they held their jaws when they spoke.
So the printing press locked the visual letters in place, but the physical sounds just kept moving on without them.
Precisely. And that historical accident leaves us with a severe deficit today. The English alphabet has 26 letters, but spoken English actually utilizes 44 distinct physical sounds.
Wow, 44. So you're trying to represent 44 distinct destinations with only 26 road signs.
Exactly.
No wonder it has to compensate by, bending rules, combining letters, and leaving silent traps everywhere.
The math simply does not work. The 26-letter alphabet does not have the bandwidth to carry the mechanical information your mouth actually needs.
Okay, so if the alphabet is a broken GPS, then I'm assuming there is a working one somewhere.
There is, yeah. It's called the International Phonetic Alphabet, or the IPA.
Yeah.
This is the true one-to-one map for the territory of human speech.
Wait, hold on. You want me to abandon my broken spelling system, which I already spent years learning, and go memorize an entirely new alphabet made up of 44 weird academic symbols?
I know.
That sounds like replacing a broken GPS with like a compass and a sextant.
I completely understand the hesitation. It sounds super intimidating, but it is actually the ultimate shortcut. The IPA isn't about spelling. It is a direct set of instructions for your muscles.
Instructions for muscles. Okay.
The core rule of the IPA is absolute consistency. One symbol equals one sound, always. 0 silent letters, 0 exceptions.
So it just strips away all that historical baggage we were talking about.
Entirely. Let me give you a concrete example. Think about the sound. In English, we use those 2 letters for the hard, vibrating sound in the word this.
Right, this.
And also for the soft, airy sound in the word think. The spelling is identical. But in the IPA, those are 2 completely different symbols. One visually tells you to turn your voice box on, and the other tells you to leave it off.
Oh, I see. So if I look up a tricky word in a digital dictionary and see those phonetic symbols, I'm not looking at a spelling suggestion. I'm looking at a foolproof mechanical blueprint for my mouth.
Yes, it bypasses the confusing letters on the page and speaks directly to your jaw, your tongue, and your vocal cords.
All right, I'm sold on the blueprint. Now that we know we have 44 distinct physical sounds to build, we need to look at the raw materials.
Let's do it.
Let's start with the foundation of every syllable, the vowels. And I don't want to talk about A, E, I, O, and U. I want to know about the biomechanics of what's happening in my head.
Good, because written vowels are basically irrelevant here. Biomechanically, a vowel is incredibly simple. It is unobstructed airflow.
Unobstructed, meaning no barriers.
Right. You aren't blocking the air with your teeth or your lips.
Yeah.
The entire difference between an E sound and an ah sound is simply the architecture of the open space in your mouth. Specifically, how high your jaw is and where your tongue is sitting.
So I am essentially turning my mouth into a cavern and changing the shape of the cavern to change the echo.
That is a perfect physical analogy.
All right.
And because English has so many of these cavern shapes, we categorize them by how much effort they take.
Okay.
You have long sounds where the jaw drops and the sound is sustained. You have short sounds which are clipped. And then you have my personal favorite, the lazy sounds.
I am intrigued by any biomechanics that involve being lazy.
Well, the human mouth is inherently efficient. We don't want to expend maximum effort on every single syllable. So we utilize what linguists call the schwa.
The schwa.
It sounds highly technical, but it's just the sound of total relaxation. Your jaw hangs loose, your tongue rests flat in the middle of your mouth, and you just let out a tiny grunt.
Like the first sound in the word about. I'm not saying A-H bout. I'm just saying about.
Exactly. Or the O in memory. We don't say mem-o-r-y. We say mem-uri. The schwa is the most common vowel sound in the entire English language because our mouths constantly search for the path of least physical resistance.
It's just the filler material between the important parts of the word. Okay, so we have these static cavern shapes, but here's where it gets really interesting. There is a category of vowels that refuse to sit still. Diphthongs.
Diphthongs. People hear that word and assume it's some obscure grammatical torture device.
I mean, it does sound like a rare medical condition. I'm trying to visualize this mechanically. If a normal vowel is just holding a static open shape, what is my mouth doing during a diphthong?
Think of a standard vowel as a photograph. Your jaw holds one pose. A diphthong is a video clip.
Oh, okay.
It's dynamic movement. You start with your mouth in one cavern shape, producing one vowel sound, and within the exact same pulse of breath, you physically glide your jaw and tongue into a second shape.
So it's not 2 separate sounds glued together, it's the journey between them.
Yes. Imagine mixing 2 paint colors live on a canvas. Let's look at the sound of that, as in the word time. If you slow your mouth down to a fraction of its normal speed, you aren't just making one sound.
What am I making?
You start with your jaw wide open on an ah sound,
Right.
and then you physically push your jaw up and pull your tongue forward to finish on a tidy sound. Ah, I.
Oh, wow, I can literally feel my chin lifting when I say it. Time.
And that physical travel is exactly why diphthongs ruin people's pronunciation. If your native language doesn't feature these specific internal glides, your jaw muscles literally lack the specific conditioning to make the trip.
Makes sense.
People tend to just hit the first shape, drop the second, and completely alter the word.
I can see how relying on spelling completely fails here. The letter I gives you 0 indication that your jaw needs to travel upward. So how does someone actually practice this? I can't look inside my own mouth.
But you can look at the outside. The most powerful tool for mastering these shapes is immediate visual feedback.
So, if you are listening to this right now and want an at-home practice tip, here it is. When you are practicing your English vowels, and especially these shape-shifting diphthongs, grab a mirror, or honestly just pull out your phone and open the selfie camera.
I know it sounds a bit ridiculous to sit there staring at your own lips while talking to yourself.
It will feel totally ridiculous, but it is insanely effective. Because diphthongs are a physical journey, you have to verify that the vehicle is moving.
Yes, exactly.
Look at your phone and watch your mouth. If you are trying to say a word like coin, which uses the oi diphthong starting with a rounded O shape and moving to a wide E shape, and you look in the camera and your lips are just frozen in place, you are failing the mechanical requirement of the sound. The camera does not lie.
You are checking your form, just like you would if you were lifting weights. Are the muscles executing the full range of motion?
I love that. If vowels are the open air, the unobstructed space, then we need something to contain them, because just making open vowel sounds means you're basically just shouting, "We need boundaries."
That is exactly where consonants come in. If vowels are the open spaces in a house, the consonants are the walls.
Walls, right.
You are using your lips, your teeth, and your tongue to create physical friction and barricades that chop that open air into distinct, intelligible words.
Before we start building those walls, if you've been enjoying listening to this, consider subscribing. Now, we are shifting from the jaw down into the throat and out to the lips.
We are.
You divide consonants into two distinct mechanical categories, unvoiced and voiced. I'm trying to figure out how unvoiced consonants work. Like, if I'm not using my throat, is it really just a glorified exhale?
A heavily stylized exhale, yes. Unvoiced sounds are incredibly pure in their mechanics. The airflow originates in your lungs, travels up through your vocal cords, but your vocal cords are completely relaxed and open. They are turned off.
So no vibration at all, no hum.
Absolute silence in the throat. All the action is happening at the very front of the face. You're just pushing a stream of air against an obstacle course.
Like the S sound, ss, it's just air rushing over the tongue and slipping through the teeth.
Or the P sound, kuh. You build up a tiny pocket of air behind your closed lips, and then you just pop them open to release it.
Yeah.
Or the F sound. Just air slipping between your bottom lip and top teeth. You aren't generating any musical tone. It is pure friction.
Okay, so that's unvoiced, just air. Now let's contrast that with the voiced consonants. I assume this is where we turn the machinery on.
This is where we engage the engine. With a voiced consonant, the primary sound is not friction at the lips. It is a distinct, vibrating tone generated down in the vocal cords.
A tone, right.
As the air pushes up from the lungs, the vocal cords pull tight and flutter, creating a physical buzz that travels all the way up your neck and out of your mouth.
Let's do a side-by-side comparison. Let's take that unvoiced S sound we just talked about. Sis. The tongue is near the teeth, pushing air. Now, what happens if I keep my mouth in that exact same architectural shape, but I flip the switch in my throat and turn the vocal cords on?
You instantly create a Z sound. Zzz.
The mouth shape didn't change a single millimeter. The only difference is the engine in the throat. So what does this all mean? It means this is an abstract theory. We can test this biomechanically right now.
Yes, please do.
If you are listening to this right now, put down whatever you're doing, and let's do a physical demonstration. Take 2 fingers and place them gently right on the front of your throat, dead center over your voice box.
Right where the Adam's apple is, or, where you check a pulse on the neck.
Got your fingers there.
Yeah.
Okay, we are going to make a voice sound. Let's do that Z sound. Ready? Sizz. Hold it out for a second. What is happening under your fingers?
You should feel an undeniable, distinct vibration. It's a buzzing sensation pushing right against your skin.
You can physically feel the machinery working. Now leave your fingers exactly where they are. Don't shift your jaw. Don't move your tongue. Just switch back to the unvoiced partner sound. Turn the throat off and make the S sound. It's just pure air.
And the buzzing vanishes completely.
It's completely still. Zzz, intense vibrations. Absolute silence in the neck.
I take it a step further. Try it with your lips. Put your fingers back on your throat. Make a hard B sound. You feel the buzz, right?
Definitely. Buh, buh. The throat is totally jumping.
I'm going to make a P sound.
Nothing. It's just a tiny explosion of air at the lips. The throat is asleep.
This simple, tangible physical test shatters the way we are traditionally taught language. It proves that mastering English pronunciation isn't a memory game.
Right.
It isn't about staring at flashcards. It is the literal, physical practice of knowing exactly when to switch the vocal cords on and off.
It really is like learning to play an instrument. Like if you play the saxophone, you have to know which keys to press down, but you also have to know how hard to blow the air and how to shape your embouchure.
Exactly. And when you are out in the real world, struggling with a word, and you aren't sure if a consonant should be voiced or unvoiced, you don't have to guess based on a confusing spelling.
Yeah.
You can literally reach up, touch your throat, and check your work in real time. Am I vibrating when I shouldn't be? Am I pushing pure air when I should be generating a tone? The body gives you instant, undeniable feedback.
And when you start pairing that instant physical feedback with the visual map of the IPA, when you know that this specific symbol means mouth wide, jaw dropping, throat vibrating, and this other symbol means lips tight, vocal cords turn completely off the language, stops being a mystery.
It really does.
You stop fighting the historical spelling mistakes of 15th century Flemish typesetters, and you just start playing the instrument of your own body.
You move English out of the abstract, intellectual puzzle of the brain and drop it straight into the grounded physical reality of the mouth and throat. That is how you bypass the frustration.
Which is exactly what we set out to accomplish today in this deep dive. We've taken a real journey here, shifting our entire paradigm.
Sure.
We started by realizing that our alphabetical GPS is fundamentally broken due to centuries of linguistic hoarding. We mapped the real auditory landscape using the 44 symbols of the IPA. We grabbed our selfie cameras to watch our jaws physically travel through the sliding shapes of diphthongs. And we put our fingers on our throats to feel the literal mechanical difference between pushing air and vibrating tissue.
And if we connect this physical reality to the bigger picture, it leaves us with an incredibly important question to ponder as we go about our day.
What's that?
If we finally stop treating English as a rigid written puzzle filled with arbitrary rules and start treating it as a dynamic physical instrument, paying close attention to the vibration in our throats and the changing architecture of our mouths, how much faster could we unlock true, effortless fluency?
That is a powerful thought to leave on. Stop reading the map and start feeling the road. Treat your voice like an instrument and practice the mechanics. Don't forget to like this video and drop a comment sharing your thoughts and subscribe for more.